Welcome back, Floater Gang. We're going to be reviewing Deacon's draft prospect rankings. Deacon, get us started with your first tier.
Just for reference, I have a different amount of guys in each tier. So I'm gonna just hit you with tier one. I have 7 players in this tier. So my first ranked players. Alex Sarr. I don't think there's any argument there. Number 2 is Donovan Clingan. 3 is Reese Shea. 4, I got Buzelis. 5, I like Steph Castle. 6, Reed Shepard. 7, Devin Carr. And a lot of these guys are kind of interchangeable. Like if you said Reed Shepard was 4, I wouldn't be mad, but
Upset.
I would be furious actually. But no,
But at least you're not mad.
Yeah, these are guys that I think are all pretty much in the same tier.
They can all be number 1 overall draft picks or number 2.
I think
doesn't matter.
If the Hawks said, "Screw it, we're taking Devin Carter," I'd be like, "That's not a bad choice," you know, because he's that good.
I mean, unless they keep DeJounte and trade in this.
Yeah, then that would be kind of weird.
That would be very weird. But no, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
I was talking about pure talent.
Yeah, I know. No, that's fair. I don't know if I really have too many complaints. I don't know if Castle necessarily.
Castle haters.
I mean, I guess he's probably. I don't know.
I could never take Castle as a number 1 or number. Did you have Dillingham in here?
I don't know.
Oh my God.
He's gay.
Yeah. Sorry.
Just like the Celtics.
Why would explain to me why like Reed Shepard is a tier above Dillingham.
So Reed Shepard's a little stockier. You know, his shooting is just unbelievable. He's shown some defensive, like he has defensive instincts.
Shooting. Dillingham is like that same guy with shooting, and plus he can do it off like the dribble.
I think I buy Reed. I mean, I still buy Robert Dillingham shooting. I think he's an awesome shooter. I think just pure shooting, I like Reed Shepard, and I like his defensive instincts. He's not a great one-on-one defender, but like in team concepts, I like him. And I think he's just going to be a really, really good player, no matter what. And I'm not totally convinced Rob Dillingham is going to be a really, really good player.
Why do you like Dillingham over Castle?
Me?
You.
I don't like Dillingham.
Or I meant the other way
Castle
around.
over Dillingham.
Yeah.
Again, like I like defense personally. It's like half the game, I think. So I think Castle's probably the best perimeter defender that's drafted, or Carter. And also the things Castle does offensively, you know, he's not a great shooter, but he has great IQ in terms of like he's a great cutter. So he's in the right spot at the right time. He's just like one of those guys that I could see being on a championship team. You know, he's like Drew Holiday minus the shooting is like kind of my comp, and maybe the shooting will come around.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's fair, but I don't know. I still, like I said, I see your Castle take, but I do agree. I think Dillingham could definitely be up there with all those guys.
I would certainly switch Castle and Dillingham in my personal tiers without doubt. I think Dillingham. So you have a defense concerns, but again, as much as like theoretically you're right, like defense is half the game. He's not particularly a weak defender. We have guys like Trae Young, who is Trae Young. We have guys like Jalen Brunson, and these are strong defenders. But no one gives a flying fuck because they're putting up 30 points in the league. I'm not saying Dillingham will put up 30 points, but if you watch this guy, I don't care that Reed Shepard. I do care, by the way. I like Reed Shepard. But are we talking about this guy that can shoot like a 45% off the three, which Dillingham can also do? And then he can do it the way that Brunson and Trae Young can, and you see that potential and the way he's able to make plays. It's like, okay, like we're looking at a guy where at the very least the potential is it like a very certified all-star player.
Right.
You're not putting him in tier 1. Well, in this draft class with guys like Reed Shepard and Stephon Castle in tier 1.
Another thing I want to say. Another thing I want to say, I think Marvin just got a sneak peek of my tears. Another thing I want to say, if like the Spurs said ever we're going to take Castle or not Castle, Dillingham at 4, I would not say it's a bad thing. Because the fit there is tremendous. With Wemby backing him up and then the pick and roll factor, and they just need another shot maker. So I think fit also has a lot to do with this, but like if I was just starting a franchise, he's lower on my list. Okay, I'll hit you with tier 2. So Ron Holland,
Lauren, brace yourself.
Is my number 1 guy in tier 2. He just missed the cut for tier 1. Nikola Topic is in my tier 2. His injury is a concern. He's probably, if I was making a mock draft, he's probably not this high, but I like his talent a lot. Jared McCain, it's another guy in tier 2. I love his shooting. I think he's.
Where the hell is Dillingham at, bro?
Give me a second. He's
what?
Jared McCain is, he's thick.
Lauren,
he's feisty,
I'm telling you, he's gay.
Number 4, I got Bob Carrington, 6'5", great pull-up shooter.
You said in your hot take,
great
you didn't
defender,
think he was
good
better.
defender.
You do think he's better.
I know. I was worried about the backlash I had here, like in that short. I thought it was going to be like just too controversial, so I was going to save it for the video.
All right. So you said we're Stefan Castle haters. You're a Rob Dillingham.
I'm not a Rob Dillingham hater.
But you to have
my
him in
number
tier 3,
2.
you have to be a hater. Just looking at his college game, he's so good. Why?
He
why,
came
why
off
do you
the
have him in tier
bench.
3?
And in every big game, who do they rely on in every big game, every big moment? Rob Dillingham. He came off the bench. Guess what that also means? He's a fucking winner because he's willing to take on that role. Guess what he did? No ball in his hands. Don't care. One of the best catch and shoot guys. 3 from the elbow. Put him on a fade. He don't care. You put 2 defenders on. He don't care because he'll shake and bake the crap out of him and do it efficiently. Pull up from deep 3, don't matter. Superstar written all over him. At the worst, you have a 3-point shooter that's very capable off the dribble. And you don't even get me started on his Kyrie Irving layup package.
Well, I think at the worst, he's
Jared McCain?
With
Why on earth is Jared McCain above Rob Dillingham? Explain that one.
He's a winner. He's got winning qualities.
What did he win?
Okay, he didn't actually win anything, but I think he's a better shooter, specifically like off movement. I think
better shooter without the ball. Dillingham is a better scorer with the ball in his hands.
I know you said Carrington is bigger, but that
wait, just hey guys,
let him defend McCain. Then afterwards, you definitely need to defend Carrington too. These are just some absurd rankings.
Yeah, right.
Besides size, why is Carrington better than Dillingham?
Oh, I really like Carrington as a pull-up shooter. I think he's probably
Dillingham's better.
But again, I think the size really matters, guys.
Dillingham is substantially better. And the thing is, size is awesome. But wait, hold on. Who's in the league right now? There's guys like Chris Paul. How tall is Dillingham? He's not 5'11". He's not Isaiah Thomas. He's still 6'3". And if you watch his tape and if you look at his numbers, you can watch. He's not shooting the ball like Reed Shepard, where he's shooting an amazing 3-point just like this, or maybe off a screen. No, he's making space. You know he can do that in the NBA. He will be able to cook guys and bake, just like he's done his whole life in the NBA, at least to some extent. And he's such a talented shooter with the eye test and percentage-wise that he'll be able to somewhat do that in the NBA.
I hear you. Guys, I like Rob Dillingham. I think he's a good player. I just like these other guys more. I think Bob Carrington, I think his defensive tools are also nothing to be scoffed at, sniffed at, whatever.
Sniffed.
I don't know. If that's
Vacuumed at.
Vacuumed at. In a vacuum. No. Yeah, I like his pull-up shooting a lot, and he's big, which matters. His 3-point shooting wasn't spectacular, but he's a good free throw shooter. He's a good mid-range shooter. You could see the flash.
You need to shoot a 3-point ball in the NBA if you unless you're a superstar, unless your name is Devin Booker and they can all shoot threes too, or Kevin Durant,
unless your name
or
is
DeMar
Giannis
DeRozan.
Antetokounmpo.
If you're not the guy or maybe a top 2 guy on your team, you have to be able to shoot a 3-point ball in the league unless you're talented somewhere else. And he
I
is
know.
not going to like as a
I
guard.
think he can be a good 3-point shooter, though. That's the thing.
Dillingham is a good 3-point shooter.
But Dillingham already is.
I know.
Dillingham is a good 3-point shooter.
Guys,
At any
but
level.
a lot of this is projection. If I'm taking the guys that I think are going to be the best players in their rookie year, Rob Dillingham
So you
is
think
ahead of
Carrington? You think Carrington will have a better career than Rob Dillingham?
I do.
Let's hope he's at least in your tier 3.
No. He's obviously my
the
tier
answer to that.
Okay.
I knew the answer to that.
I got Rob Dillingham.
Oh, you're changing the order up now.
Okay, shut up.
You're changing the order
I
up
tried
now.
to earn some.
The respect.
No, I just take the heat off me a little bit here. All right. I would not be good on first date. But and then I also got Cody Williams and Dalton Knecht. Dalton Knecht, I think it's going to be an immediate impact guy. He could win Rookie of the Year. No, he's going to be a great scorer, specifically if he goes into a situation where, he's given an opportunity to start and play alongside Kate Cunningham. But so I like Knecht there. Cody Williams, he's raw. I don't think he'll probably. I mean, it depends on what team he gets drafted to, but he's not going to play a ton his first year. He's more of a developmental guy, but I like his developmental aspects of his game. Like I think he's a pretty good driver. He has good touch. He's a good catch and shooter. He has good defensive tools. He's kind of just like the perfect, like, if he could turn into like a Jaden McDaniels, I think that'd just be awesome. That'd be swell.
Swell.
But he will never ever be Jaden McDaniels. You want to know why? Because Jaden McDaniels has like a smooth feel for the game. Williams will never ever look like that. He won't. Even if he turns out well.
We could say that.
Even if he turns out good, I'm not saying he can't turn out good, but he will never ever have that handle, that finesse.
Not to mention the defense.
There's guys you can look at. Yeah, plus the defense. I mean, Jaden McDaniels is a
Jaden McDaniels
defensive player of the year candidate. Williams is so raw defensively, like you're not gonna take him also just turn him into McDaniels. Like that's
you're not gonna take him for defense.
That's a crazy comparison.
McDaniels are taking 4 defense.
Well, McDaniels
is hot.
He's awesome. I mean, he's awesome, but he was not expected to be like as good as he is, obviously.
Yeah, but I'm saying is you could see signs, right? He didn't look as flimsy and out of control. He had finesse. He always had a bag. Does he use it all the time? No, he still doesn't. But it's there. Williams doesn't have it. It doesn't exist. Well, which is exactly why I'm high on Dillingham, by the way, who somehow is in this tier. His bag, like he got an answer for anything thrown at him. Daniels has that aspect to him. Also, why is De Silva not in this tier? I mean, for me, he's a top 5 talent. What is De Silva? What is preventing him from being in this tier or tier 2 or tier 1?
Mm-hmm. I really like De Silva as well. I think he's still at 6'9", I think. He's not like he's pretty
6'10".
skinny. 6'9",
he's bigger than
8.
Williams, and you. Oh, hold on. On
no,
Williams,
no.
everybody else, the argument is going to bulk up. He's already bulkier. Can he bulk up?
You can always.
De Silva is 23. Is the difference. So I don't see his body developing at like the same rate as Cody Williams. That's why I'm taking
Cody Williams is developing his body a lot. Guys, these are all like grown men.
He's 18 or 19.
Summer young men.
Like, have you seen that? What's wrong with it?
19 and a
half. He's in my next year. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
2 for 4.
But what is preventing him from being up here? Outside, if that's your only argument, I think it's a weak argument, but I guess it is what it is.
I didn't finish one. I don't think he could play the power forward. Like, I think he's too skinny. He's not a great rebounder. He could play the 3 just fine, and I think that's fine. But he's not as versatile. Again, Cody is 19. He's super young. He has a lot of tools that I really like, and he just has the basic wing.
What tools do you really like that Cody Williams has that De Silva does not?
I like. So De Silva has a lot of good tools, but the fact that he is 4 years older matters.
Yeah, but what are these tools? Because there's playmaking.
I think
De Silva is easily superior. There's dribbling. De Silva is easily superior. There is post moves. De Silva is superior. There is shooting.
He's 4 years older. I think
De Silva is superior. There is defense, Silva superior.
I think you got to look at a lens because you can't just compare them straight up one for one because Cody Williams is 4 years younger. I like a lot of the stuff. Like I think Cody is a pretty solid passer. I think he shoots the ball pretty well. I think he's a good finisher. He has good touch. He is pretty weak. But again, he's 19, and I don't think De Silva has the same leeway to develop his body that Cody Williams does. But let me move on to my tier.
Continue with 4.
Yeah. So 4, I got Deron Holmes. I love the guy. I think I could probably have him higher, but I know you guys would hate me if I had
why
Deron
is he not
Holmes.
higher? Actually, I love him too. He's
No.
very low for you for loving him.
I know. I mean, I like all of these
Here,
guys.
go through your tier first, and then we can talk about them.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, just real quick, I have Deron Holmes as what, top 15 guy. I'm bad at math.
What number
So
are we
I-
at right now?
He is 15.
Yeah,
He
he's
is
a top 15 guy. I really like him.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
And if you took him top 12, top 11, I wouldn't mind it. You know.
Not bad.
I have Keyshawn George. I was debating putting up to tier 3. I really like him. He's kind of growing on me as the draft cycle continues. I have De Silva then. Again, you can make an argument he should be in tier 3. I think you guys make good arguments as well. I have Nikola Jurisic. I still can't quite say his name.
I'm gonna assume it's Jurisic.
Yeah, I know you have him a lot higher.
Is, for the record, he's my number 4 he's number 4, number 3, he's top 5 for me. I am so high on this guy. Continue.
So I really like what I see. First of all, I can't get my hands on a ton of footage.
Ware and Salon are
True.
5 and 6 in that tier.
Sorry, yeah. Ware, then Salon. So just to finish it off. And to speak on Jurisic real quick. I can't find a ton of footage of him, you know, it's kind of tricky. Not a lot of people have made breakdowns on him because he is projected 2nd round. But what I've seen, he
around 38 right now.
looks awesome. I think he has pretty good burst. He's a good passer. Like he has good feel. He's big. His shot was falling like crazy. So Nikola Topic and Jurisic played on the same team.
Yeah.
And when Topic went down, Jurisic,
Jurisic.
yeah, he was awesome. You know, and he was hitting his shots. You know, he took on kind of that primary playmaker role slightly. He's a pretty bad rebounder for his size, but like, I don't know. I don't know how much I'm gonna nitpick on this in tier 4. You know.
How do you guys feel about his statement about himself saying he's a less athletic Anthony Edwards?
I heard that. I don't completely hate it, but
I don't hate it at all. I actually think he's obviously less athletic. He's kind of said that he's not the same defender, and so he's like a light version of him. I actually think he's just not as explosive and lethal of a scorer, but I think he's got better like feel as far as like moving the ball, playmaking, stuff like that.
And I think their shot making qualities are comparable.
I think very comparable. The type of shots he takes, and like they just go right in, and how comfortable he looks to take those shots. I think the ceiling is like that. That's why I'm a little confused, to be honest here. And Deacon, maybe I think you're a little bit more on the general kind of public side. Is you like guys a little bit more, I guess, that have high potential, right? We had this this level argument just a second ago. You don't like Salon, but he's still in your tier 4. To me, he's not even close to this. He's 2nd round, put him away. He's not even anywhere near this for me. And that's because of potential. He hasn't done anything yet. That's a fact. He hasn't done anything crazy yet. But here's what I don't understand. So if we're talking about projection and potential, why is Jurisic not higher up? Why is he not in better talks?
Well, just like I said, I feel like I don't have a huge sample size of him. And I think if I did, he'd be much higher. Like, and if he played the same way, you know.
Okay.
And if a GM was like, "Oh, he's awesome at workouts, we're going to take him 10th," I'd be like, "Go for it." You know, I think he has a lot of tools that really work, and he has a feel.
I was about to say he seems very mature in the game too, and
he's got that European feel. Like You can see it almost all those guys, even like Risa Shea, guy that's not a playmaker. You can see a lot of plays where he just got good feel moving the ball quickly.
Um, yeah, and so like if we're comparing Cody Williams to Jurisic, and we're just taking that like span of time when Topic was out and he was awesome, I'm taking Jurisic. Whatever. Yeah. I just physically can't say it.
Y'all just aren't good with names.
Yeah. And then to speak on Saloon, whatever. TS. I agree with you. He hasn't really done anything. I think I do like that he is so active. Like you never like forget he's on the court because he's just everywhere. He's kind of got the Josh Hart quality to him, but he's just not like good at basketball quite yet.
That can be a problem.
Yeah, but he is young. He is pretty massive. I think he's like 6'10". He's got some muscle to him. So like people are saying he should be picked top 10. I'm not there. But I think I'd be willing to take a swing on him if I'm like so if I'm a team that's not gonna like valuing this pick or in terms of like I'm not saying what am I trying to say? This pick is not gonna play this year for me. I'd be very comfortable taking Salon.
Mhm.
Like if I'm the Knicks, he's probably not gonna fall this far, like in actuality. But if I'm the Knicks and he's with one of those 2 first-round picks, I would absolutely take him.
Why would you not take, for example, a Dadier kind of guy who
He's
has?
in my next tier.
I just feel like I would take him over Solana. I just think he looks like he's already better. And for talking about potential, talking about a guy that I want to see good in 4 years, I think he'd be much better in 4 years. That's what we're talking about.
I really like Dadier, and I liked him like pretty early on. So it's cool to see him like rise into like first round contention. But I don't know. A lot of this is just like I'm just like nitpicking or like I'm just like doing whatever. I'm just a jerk, you know. So if you said Dadier is going to be better than Salon or he should be ranked higher, I'm not going to like be mad.
You're not gonna hate on
Fair. Fair.
I am a lot less married to the guys in
I
tier.
hope you're not married to guys.
Oh yeah, that's true. Like the guys in tier 4.
Yeah.
If you want to push them to tier 5 and push some of the tier 5 guys up to tier.
The farther
4.
you get, the more kind of
Exactly.
it gets. Yeah.
I mean, because we're going to see a guy that's projected to be like undrafted go like 32nd. You know, it's
Possible, or someone that's projected 35 to not even get drafted and then picked
Yeah.
up. Just depending on
I'm
ranks.
not-
Like
yeah.
you said, it depends on teams a little bit too. What you're looking for, if you're trying to play them this year or not. Like you said with Saloon, like that could be a big factor too. Is are you drafting for this year or are you drafting for future years? Could be a big factor too. But yeah. I think that wraps up our Deacon's draft prospect rankings. Let us know what you guys think. Let us know what you think about his rankings and where you rank some of these guys differently than he does, or some guys that he didn't even mention. Drop a comment, drop a like, and subscribe.